and one. Welcome to another episode of the I'm Undeniable podcast. I'm your host, Alex Sundar, and I'm here to drop some major fucking bombs and perspective on how to become unbreakable in your mind, body, and soul. And in today's episode, what I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about is I'm going to be talking to you about how to set up mini goals so you can accomplish your big goals. It's what we call SMART goals. I think this is such an important podcast episode to listen to because you can apply this style of application to almost anything. You can apply it to your business, your relationship, your own, personal development goals. But most importantly, what we're actually going to be talking about is how to set this up to accomplish your fat loss goals. I think this is going to drop some major perspective on what you can actually do to keep your motivation super high. So you're someone who has struggled with motivation, how to accomplish your goals. This training is going to be very beneficial towards you. At the same time, what this is actually also going to allow, it's going to allow you to give you kind of a viewpoint on exactly what you need to do in order to accomplish this. So let's chat about it. Let's kind of dive into it as we are talking about, what you need to do to accomplish your big long-term goals. So I'm going to be breaking these down, and we're going to be talking about how to accomplish your big fat loss goals, such as losing 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds of body fat. Maybe some of you need to lose 100 pounds of body fat. We're going to break that down, and I'm going to break things down for you so how you can make mini micro goals that are going to consistently motivate you to accomplish the big goal at the end of the day. So it's going to be very, very, very valuable for all of you. So what are SMART goals, right? What are they? The SMART and SMART goals, they stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So defining these parameters as they pertain to your goal helps ensure that your objectives are attainable within a certain time frame. This approach will literally eliminate generalities and guesswork and sets a clear timeline and makes it easier to track progress and honestly identify missed milestones as well, right? So we're going to break it down. Like I said, we're going to break it down per each part, and then we're going to put it together on how that's going to look like to accomplish your long-term fat loss goals. And I'm going to be using losing 30 pounds as an example for this podcast episode. Now, you can use this, again, like I mentioned before, for any fat loss goal that you want. You can use it for business goals. You can use it for personal development. You can even use it for your relationship. It's just all about how you actually apply this. So let's break things down. So we'll start with the first one in SMART, the S, specific. So in order for a goal to be effective, it needs to be specific. A specific goal answers questions like, what needs to be accomplished within this specific time frame? Who's responsible for it? Is it you or is it someone else? And what steps need to be taken to achieve it? So as an example, if we are doing losing 30 pounds of body fat, what I would actually focus on is I wouldn't focus on the big part of losing 30 pounds. I would break it up into mini goals. So let's say for the next 30 days. For the next 30 days, your goal is to lose 10 pounds of body fat. That can be very realistic for a lot of people, right? So that's where we get specific, right? It needs to be a specific goal. And that's a big mistake I find with a lot of people in terms of losing body fat is that we don't get specific of what we're trying to achieve. So 10 pounds down, right? That's what our goal needs to be accomplished. Now, who's responsible for it? Well, you are responsible for it. It's going to be your responsibility to do the necessary things in order to lose that 10 pounds. And what steps need to be taken to achieve it. So what I would do is I will write down a piece of paper. And as an example, you could be like, I need to be in a caloric deficit. I need to create a 500 calorie deficit daily in order to lose 1 pound of body fat. I need to do 10,000 steps per day. I need to work out at the gym and lift weights 3 to 4 times per week. I need to drink 3 to 4 liters of water, right? As an example, right? We're getting very specific in the action steps that you need to take to hit this goal of losing 10 pounds in the next 30 days, right? It's getting specific. So the next one that we're going to talk about is measurable. So specificity is a solid start, but quantifying your goals, that is making sure they're measurable, makes it easier to track your progress and know when you've reached the finish line. So like we broke down that 30 pounds and we're trying to lose your first 10 pounds in the month, we're breaking things down to make sure they're very, very measurable. So to make this a smart objective, we need to incorporate measurable, trackable benchmarks, right? So what can we measure in terms of actually losing your first 10 pounds in the next 30 days, right? Well, one of the things we can actually do is we can weigh yourself daily in the morning in a fasted state. It gives us a clear indicator of fluctuations in the body, how much your body is currently weighing. We can also take progress pictures, right? Progress pictures are a really good indicator, and it's a good measurable thing that we can count on. We can also keep track of measurements, right? You're getting a measuring tape, measuring your body, and seeing those changes from a week to week or from the 30 days that you're doing it to see the changes within your body. Those are some measurable goals. Now, there are some other measurable goals, which a lot of people don't really think about, and that is progress in the gym, right? So a lot of times when I coach my clients, I don't teach them how to, let's just aim for fat loss. Let's just aim for weight loss. We aim for measurable goals in the gym. Are you getting stronger? Are you hitting PRs on your lift? Are you consistently working out? Right? So when you guys are making your SMART goals, when you're breaking things down, I also want you to think of goals that are outside of fat loss. What can I also aim towards that are going to keep me motivated? Because as we know with the scale, when you're weighing yourself, your weight can fluctuate on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis. And that can be demotivating for a lot of people. But if we have other factors in which you can gauge your progress, your motivation in trying to hit your goal can be drastically different as well. So we want to keep that in mind. Next one, which is A, achievable. This is the point in your process where you got to give yourself a damn good reality check. Your goals need to be realistic, not pedestals from which you inevitably tumble. So I want you to ask yourself, is your objective, your goal, reasonable? Like, as an example, we're talking about for the next 3 days, your goal is to lose 30 pounds of body fat. Losing 30 pounds of body fat within the next 30 days, that is not realistic. So you got to be very realistic on terms of where you're at. Maybe losing 10 pounds of body fat within the next 30 days is unrealistic for you. Maybe it's 5 pounds of body fat. Maybe you got a lot of traveling, vacations. You can't commit to certain things because you got other factors within your life. So you got to look at yourself, have a hard look in the mirror, and ask yourself, what is realistic? What can I commit to in terms of accomplishing this goal, right? And doing this is going to safeguard the essentially the achievability of your goal. It's much easier when you're the one setting it. And plus, I want you guys to understand this. It's a lot more motivating when you actually accomplish your goal versus not accomplishing your goal. So make sure the goal is very realistic for yourself. R, relevant. Here's what you need to think about the big picture. Why are you setting that goal? Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? Why is your goal to lose 10 pounds within the first 30 days? It has to be relevant to what you're trying to achieve. Like, what is your vision? What is your long-term aspect on which you're actually trying to accomplish this goal for? It's really, really, really important. And I feel a lot of people actually miss out on that factor. It's like, okay, I'm trying to lose this weight, but why are you trying to do it? I'm a big fan of using visualization tools in person to motivate you, to remind you that you're doing it. Something I personally do is I will look at my goals every morning. I will actually put them on the screensaver of my phone as well to remind myself, okay, this is what my goals are for the week. Another good aspect that you can actually use in terms of your goals, let's say your goal is to go from an extra large shirt to a large t-shirt. Put a large t-shirt in front of you, hang it up so you see it every day, right? So you want stuff that can motivate you. So think about that as you are, coming up with this idea of like what's realistic for you and what's relevant to you when it comes down to accomplishing your goal. Time bound, right? What's your time frame to accomplish it? Super, super important. As we talked about earlier, we did this for 30 days. That is our time frame to accomplish this goal. Putting a time frame on this goal works really, really well when it comes down to motivating yourself and to make sure that you can stay consistent with it. It also ensures that you're not only consistent with what you're trying to achieve or what you're trying to do, but it gives you a micro goal to accomplish. And that's why I'm a big fan when you're picking out measurable factors within your SMART goals is like you want to pick stuff that is measurable just outside of fat loss and weight loss as well. So it can motivate you towards it. So what I like to do is like if your goal is to lose 30 pounds, that can take anywhere from 16 weeks to 24 weeks, even up to 8 months for some people. Those micro goals in between are super important. I like to put those micro goals for SMART goals anywhere from 30 days, 6 weeks, up to 8 weeks. Now, you might not figure out what works best for you, but figure it out. Try it out once, right? And kind of see like, okay, 30 days works really, really well for you. If it does, continue for 30 days. Maybe for some of you, these micro goals need to be 6 weeks. Maybe for some of you, it needs to be 8 weeks. But what this is allowing to teach you is a habit of like, okay, I'm always trying to chase something to become better. And when you can do that, if you lose that first 10 pounds within that first 30 days, then all of a sudden it becomes 90 days. And then all of a sudden it becomes 120 days. Well, you might have now hit your long-term goal of losing 30 pounds down. So give this SMART goal section a try. Actually try this drill because I really believe a lot of you guys are going to find this beneficial. This is actually a very basic form that they actually teach us in our personal training certifications to teach our clients. So give it a shot. Write down your goals. I would love to hear about them. DM me on my Instagram, Alex Sundar Fit, and tell me about your SMART goals. And I can give you a gauge point to see if that's realistic for you or not. So that's it for today's live stream. That's it today's podcast. I hope you guys got a ton of value from this. And if you do, implement the SMART goals that I just taught you on this podcast episode and shoot me a DM and tell me how they went for you. Take care.